guys, welcome to episode 13 of Coffee with the Dead. I am your host as always, except for last week, my bad, sorry. Here I am. Hello. Took a week off, unintentionally. Sorry about that, but life happens sometimes. So thank you all for rolling with me on that and for sticking with me. A lot of you reached out being like, where were you? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that, so many people listened. So that's what it takes to get you guys to interact, huh? Maybe I should disappoint more often. Nah, not really. So I want to give a quick shout out to Rick Gilmore of Spinal Jewelry. He made a custom set of ear weights for me a few weeks ago that were actually featured on this show, and today is his birthday. Hurrah! So, happy birthday, Rick. I also want to give a big shout out to the Red Vein Army and my home away from home, my little Red Vein family down there in Ashland. They're keeping Halloween going. So they are opening the Red Vein Haunted House. End of this month. They are busting their little bunny butts down there, getting everything ready, and they got some really, really cool new designs and ideas there to suit all of your social distancing Halloween spooky needs. And not to mention their escape room down there is pretty fantastic. They really you have to work together, so you can't get away with just going down and observing. Like, it is a full immersive experience down there and totally worth it. Plus you always get t-shirts, if you buy them, but they're there, and who doesn't like swag? I mean, come on. So let me see what's going on. I have been all over the place. Topic for tonight is the Brinton Lodge in Reading, Pennsylvania, or up around that area rather. I'm not sure the exact. I'm pretty sure it's Reading though. It's pretty close up there. Now, I'm still doing some research. I'm not sure if it is related to the Brinton family house in Westchester that was one of our episodes way back in about this time last year. We went up there. I was going to say down there. We went up there and I did a full investigation. Got a lot of footage too, but it was never published. So I do plan to do that now that, kind of gotten back into the swing of things here in 2020. But that place was super active, super cool. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know if there's any relation to the lodge. It does look like, I was talking to the Brinton family house, and it looks like there's some mild, family associations, but as far as if, both families, had any tie together with the properties, that part is a little fuzzy in the old history books. So last night was a public investigation. It was not, a private Coffee with the Dead only, or anything. I wasn't filming for a show. There were probably about maybe 15 people there altogether. Got to meet up with Lisa Rambo and Chris Geyser, who are actually going to come on here tonight in a few minutes, and we're just kind of gonna recap everything. The house is beautiful. It's from I think they said something like 300 years old, but the activity in the house as far as all the paranormal stuff and whatnot is mostly focused around the 20s and 30s. era, which I dig. I like that, kind of that kind of vibe. The house has some weird history. There was some oh some was it the word of the night last night was professing. Quite a bit of professing going on last night. In the history, not actually while we were there. Apparently, there were two illegal businesses ran out of the house. One was a whorehouse, and the other was gambling business. So there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of vibes, and it made for some really interesting storytelling. So, uh, we're gonna go ahead and bring in Chris and Lisa here, and we're just gonna kind of recap what happened. So.
was much more fun than the first. Lisa knows we don't have to go into it. Well, plus the fact that you, Para, and
All right, hold on. I think we were getting some comments just now that there was no audio. Let's see. Is it back now? Audio back out. It keeps turning off and on. Oh, it must be whatever I am. Yeah, it must be whatever I'm. I can hear. Okay, so they can hear me, but not you guys. Jeez, the joys of going live, right? No, it's not you guys. It's not you guys because I can hear you. So, just yeah, no, it's me. Okay, I think they should be able to hear you now. I think I had
Yeah.
for some reason I had you guys muted by accident.
Oh, whoops. She's
uh,
trying to shut us up.
No.
Yeah, it was like, I'm like, oh, because that happened last time. Remember when we did the first one where we were talking about Saint Michael and Saint Raphael, and like there was like an over voice.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't
was
hear
something weird
that.
the first time. Yeah, but no, this time is
Yeah.
a very clear oversight on my part. You take a week off from doing the show and then you forget how to work your software.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not a worry. Yeah, it's not a worry. And then like I'm also wondering, I just realized that oh shit. I keep like closing my window out and I'm like I can't see, but I think I posted like the pictures from Brinton Lodge for last night, and I posted the video of you guys actually doing your work with the EVP monitor, and I don't know what all your equipment's called and stuff, but I think I posted that for everybody.
You
Like I
did.
was trying
You
to
posted it, and since I'm tagged in it, any of my followers will see it too.
yeah,
So.
like I was trying to like post it here, and I'm looking at my screen going, oh shit, I don't know how to do that. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's like, whoops. Yeah, no, that was interesting because it's like I said, like we went up there and like I smelled cabbage and Brussels sprouts in the hallway, and I was kind of like, that actually smells really good.
You know what,
You
though?
know?
I was thinking about that, and you know how I was saying that I kept smelling armpits, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
later,
yeah.
and then later on, the woman of the house was saying that she was cooking pork. So I wonder if she was cooking veggies with that too, and we were just it was just cooking
I
onions.
don't
Onions will smell like
know.
armpits when they're being cooked.
I swear, like it did not smell like. All I could smell is I could definitely smell pipe tobacco, which of course I was excited about because I'm like, yeah, you know, Papa Getty usually you can smell cigarette smoke when he's around, but I was like, pipe tobacco is usually Papa Legba, so I was like, I'm like, who's smoking a pipe? I'm like, somebody's. I'm like looking around, like maybe it's on somebody's shirt.
Yeah.
And then when we came back downstairs, like, and we went in the summer kitchen, I was like, oh my god, there's a pipe stand like sitting right, like that I didn't even see.
That was a prop, but I think they must have actually had pipes in there, like
Yeah.
originally. But that was just a prop for thematics and whatnot, because nothing in that house is original. They said
Yeah.
because how it got flooded, and it was basically just you know completely just gutted and not taken care of. It was going to be torn down and turned into a parking lot. So there was nothing to that
Which is
house.
horrifying.
Yeah, there was nothing to that house when it was bought. So everything that's in there is just antiques that have been bought recently. There's nothing original to the house in there, but they make a good job of it looking very authentic. So I wonder if maybe they did smoke in the summer kitchen, but I would think that'd be more of a place for the women to have hung out. But there was a bar.
Yeah, well, is there any way, Parrot, that you can play the video that I sent you when you guys were doing when you were talking to Caleb? Was that the owner, the male owner?
Caleb. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I think I can pull that up. I don't have it prepared, but
I'm so sorry.
no, I don't have it saved anywhere. So let me for sake of accidentally just sharing my Facebook screenshot with the world. No,
Yeah,
I didn't think to do that ahead of time, Lisa, so it's not ready.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely try to attach it. It just was interesting to me because, like, it's hard for me to see spirits. Like, I can't, sometimes I'll see, like, a shimmer and I'll be like, whoa, I'm more clairaudient. So, like, I was, like, literally, like, they were like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like, this is going on, and then, like I said, you were getting, like, major readings, and I had the dowsing rods in my hand, and they were going crazy. Like, they were like that, and it was just really, really interesting. And of course, like, I'm like not someone who's like, if you tell me to stay out of somewhere, like, that just makes me want to do it more.
I know,
so I'm
right?
like peeking in the bathroom, and I'm like, what's in there? I'm like, there's something in there, and I'm like, oh, I want to go up that stairs, like, and it was really, really cool. Like,
I did find a way, Lisa. I did manage to move my screen out of the view of the whole wide world after showing it to them one more time. But so I can pull that stuff up here in a minute. But so as you guys can hear, like, there was a lot going on, but I just kind of want to set the scene for everybody. So, we all know, we're here, we're very excited. We're just like, oh, you remember this time and that time, but I think you guys might be a little confused about exactly, like, what we're talking about. So let's go back and, like, talk about, so, like, when we got there, right? Let's kind of set the scene for everyone who's listening.
Go for it.
Right? So when we got there, well, first of all, I got there late, my bad. That's just...
Well, I mean, to your credit, you drove like 2 hours to get there. I mean, like, I was like, we were just like, my God, are you sure you want to come out? Like, it's like, I mean, you're in Maryland. Like, we were just like, wow, are you sure? You're like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. And like, we were like 10 minutes late. So like, we walk in, and of course, like, I can't find my face mask, and I'm like, shit, she's going to be here any second. Like, I'm just like, we gotta go. Like,
no, that was fine. And I called them ahead of time. They were totally fine with knowing a heads up that we were going to be late. They were very nice people, and they had this really great they had a man who was in character, so he was dressed in a cape and a top hat, and he had a cane, and, he looked like he was of a distinguished gentleman from the proper era, from like the 20s and 30s, and
I call him like baby Phantom of the Opera.
a little bit, he he gave us a walking history of the house, and we started out in the living area. I would call it like the parlor, but it's like the main like living room area, and it's He during that time, immediately like I felt like stuff was like brushing on my legs, and I thought, oh, there's children in here, and like it was very
Oh
cold around the
yeah,
bottom of my legs. So right
yeah,
away, I was like, oh, this is fascinating. And like Chris, what
yeah,
was your
yeah.
immediate impression when you got there and listening when he was giving his spiel? When we walked in like the parlor room and whatnot.
Well, I tried to picture in my head exactly what the house would have looked like 300 years ago, and I try to, visualize in my head as he was speaking, and I'm thinking, wow, that was quite a sight. And with, of course, all the artifacts and the knickknacks and the gimmicks. I mean, myself, Evan, were like, huh, I wonder, is that a radio? And then we found above that it was a turntable too.
Yeah, it was like all in one device. Now, clearly, that was just for aesthetics. I don't think they had those combo devices,
They weren't
back then.
combos, it
But
was like one on top of the other.
yeah, was it two separate boxes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't get up and look. It looked like it was all one object. Okay. Um. So
I
when
kind of got the feeling that they danced in there. Like, I mean, I don't like. I had a mental image of like sort of like a flapper, like like I don't know, like the Charleston. Is that a dance like from the
it
20s?
is, it is.
Yeah, like I kind of like they enjoyed it, and I'm getting like a phonograph, like they said, like I'm getting like they used to play the phonograph. I don't think that what we saw was what they were. I mean, that was not like what they played, but they're saying I'm
Yeah.
hearing
No.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would request his favorite records. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything in particular?
He liked blues. Yeah, he liked blues. Like I'm here now. Again, like I hear Johnny Lee Hooker, and again, like I don't know enough about the blues to even like hazard a guess as to like when Johnny Lee Hooker was around. So I'm kind of like, well, wait a minute. If the house is 300 years old and these people lived in the 20s or 30s, like I'm sort of like I can't timeline that. Like I'm like I don't know.
Yeah. So so we started out in the parlor, and as you just heard, all of these thoughts are going through our heads right away, and we're having starting to have some experiences and whatnot as
Yeah.
the stories from the house are being told. And the one thing that really stood out to me that was a little funny was the story of when hurricane does what was the name of the hurricane? Do you guys remember?
Agnes.
When
Yeah.
Agnes hit,
Agnes.
she was
Agnes. Yeah.
she hit in the 70s, right? Was that the 70s?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty
And
sure.
um flooded the house. I mean, like 6 foot high with water at the lowest end of the house. It was just
Yeah.
it was devastating. That part was sad, but the part that made me laugh was after the fact, after the storm and whatnot, looters came through,
Yeah,
and
that was cool.
they only took one set of doors, but they left the other set. So the room kind of laughed as to like, why would you only take one set of doors if you're interested in the doors, just take them all.
Well, what I'm hearing is they said they took what they could get away with because they said, how easy is it to carry a door? Like, so they said there were two or three of them and they carried them out. I'm hearing the side entrance, and they also damaged part of the house. Like, they kind of, because, like, try to picture, like, carrying a door. Like, you're like, it's awkward. And, like, they were, like, banging the house or whatever.
And if you're
then,
looting, you really don't care about you just
Yeah.
want to get in and get out as quick as possible.
They
But
basically they were saying that because I just said to Papa Getty, my spirit guide, I said, why would they steal doors? And he said they wanted to sell them at auction because like technically they were considered antiques and it's a haunted house, so they wanted to sell them at auction. And I'm hearing that they did. I hear Alderfer. Yeah, that's an auction house. I think that's up here. Like,
yeah, David in chat right now is saying, considering what business that house was used for, that choice of music being the blues is pretty funny.
Oh yeah, we heard all about it. It was like, he's like, it was like they were bootleggers, it was prohibition, like it was like a speakeasy and a brothel, and we just laugh, because it's so true. Like, I mean, literally, I was getting so many confirmations, and I was like laughing because it was. I mean, they had a good time, but like the tour guide was saying, like they catered to the really rich and famous people. Like they were saying that Elizabeth Taylor stayed there with Richard Burton. I'm trying to remember who else. I'm hearing Cher. Like I heard Cher say, I mean, I don't know if she did or she didn't, but like there was like,
Yeah, no, they definitely talked about
Yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton though,
Yeah.
and then the tour guide took us upstairs to show us where the professing happened.
Yeah, we were dying because like he was like the nicest like guy, and he's like, I don't know quite how to say it, and he's like, they were professing. I'm like, their love, and he just was like, and we were just cracking up. Like apparently, like because we'd seen the tour before, like they were one of the other guys like from the last time was like they must have been professing it like quite loudly because
Yeah.
like he was like hearing something.
He was like, "Look, guys, cut me some slack. I'm doing the best I can here."
I know, it was hilarious because he was trying to be like appropriate, but he was like, "Whoa," you know, and like, because what they were saying is the tour guide was saying that they would line the ladies up the banister, and like basically it would be like kind of like a row of ladies, and he's like, "Here's all my pretty ladies," and like the
And
gentleman
it was
would, like,
just one after the other, so it was like back to back throughout the whole night, I
oh
suppose.
yeah, it
And-
was hilarious.
Oh,
Like it
man.
was, I mean, it was great,
So,
you know,
but
it was funny.
but that's the fun part of the history of the house. And Chris, when we were in that bedroom, discussing all the professing, since this was your second time there and all, did you notice anything that you didn't notice the first time 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, in the summer kitchen, there was that painting that we made fun of where it looked like Ron Jeremy on a horse with it looked like a lance trying to attack what looked like Zool from Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That painting, we had looked at it the first time, and then your husband was like, I swear to God, it looks like Ron Jeremy. And I'm like, what? You know,
And then we went down that road. I know we had some fun,
hilarious
and
because I'm like, I
think
swear to God.
I think everyone else on that tour might have been wondering exactly where we came from and what was wrong with us.
Who's Ron Jeremy? Oh, you dirty boy! You know, like it was hilarious.
I'm
Like
sure,
we were
'cause
just
it was
like, oh
so
my
quiet.
God.
It was so quiet in the house, and then we're like giggling and making jokes at some of the decor that is obviously more modern than the house. But they actually use it as a haunted house too, so it's set up for like tricks.
Listen, I mean that was an erotic art picture. Like there's another erotic art picture in the bedroom in Babe's bedroom upstairs.
And that just goes with the theme of
fine.
the history of the house.
Come on. I mean, it was a brothel. Like, what would you expect? Like, it's not horrible. Like, I mean, like, it was kind of part of to go with the course.
Rachel's in chat right now, and she's saying she thinks the tour guide loved us. And, I agree. And I want to go back sometime and, I'd like to actually get to talk to him, but we ended up staying. We were the last people there, okay? So we ended up staying until we literally got kicked out, okay? Very politely. Very, very politely. They were just like, hey, we're going to go home now. And we're like, wait.
I was trying to
we had no idea that everyone was gone. We were so wrapped up because so much was going on. But, so, Chris, down that hallway, you said you got a very specific smell. So now the tour guide, he's taking us upstairs and we're back in the bedroom where, the professing happened. But you said you got a very specific smell. After we left that bedroom, when we went to the second bedroom, do you...
I tell you what, it smelled like bacon.
You were smelling bacon?
Bacon? Are you serious? Really? You didn't tell me that.
I said it did not smell like bacon.
Did not.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't explain it. It was like... It smelled foul, but not like if someone farted or something. It just smelled foul.
Well, now we cannot verify that nobody farted. There were a lot of people there. I'm just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong.
There could have been something.
If somebody's,
you don't know.
If somebody's gas smells like, Chris, I remember you said you smelled decay.
Ew. Yeah, you did say that. You did say that, and I'm like, ew, you smell decay. I'm like, ew, like that's just, ew, what an awful smell. I didn't smell that.
I wonder if it was like mildew from the house or something.
It could be, but then you remember, remember the story that the tour guide told us once we got to that second bedroom.
Refresh my memory.
So was it Caleb and his mistress Lillian?
Right, she died.
He died.
Yeah, but
so downstairs in the main parlor area where we started, he had a heart attack.
Right.
And she wanted him to have a proper death. and be.
So she dragged him all over the house until he actually kicked it.
Well, she dragged. I mean, she
That was
wasn't
so-
just like,
that
"Hey,
was
you
so
want to die
noble.
here? Is this room good? You want to die here? You want to die over
Oh
there?"
my God,
No,
that poor
no,
man.
no.
Like honestly, one of the things that like I said to the tour guide, like when we were there last time, is I said, okay, the poor man had a heart attack, and he's telling me right now that she broke his bones as she was dragging him up, and like she's dragging him like down the stairs, she's dragging him around the corner, and she was breaking his bones, including his collarbone. And I'm like, dear God, this poor man, like he's already in like awful pain from the heart attack, and then it's like, ouch, 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 ouch. And I'm like, oh my,
I can only imagine what that was like, you know,
That's
while you're
horrible.
having
Like,
a heart attack and that happening. But she had good intentions. She wanted him to, you know, die in his favorite spot, which was in that the second bedroom, which was actually detached from the rest of the house. I mean, it was attached through the hallway, but there wasn't any house below it. It was kind of its own little extension. So it was a little cooler back there usually, but last night it was very warm. But
oh my God,
she dragged him up the stairs and wanted to get him into his bed, and he died right on the threshold of that. Of the bedroom. Yeah, and Chris, this is morbid, but it sounds to me like you smelled his body.
Ew.
Yeah, that's really
okay,
gross. But to say decay, and that's where he died. So, Lisa, what were you saying?
I just got a Brussels sprout smell in my nose. Yeah, no,
that's the pork. No, that's the pork that was being cooked.
No, I swear to God, like I just got a spirit. I can't even talk. I just got a spirit smell. Like occasionally I get like smells. Like they just projected a smell of like Brussels sprouts. Apparently, okay, they said that it smelled like Brussels sprouts to me, but it smelled like decay to Chris. Like that to me is like not decay. Like decay to me is like the smell of like trash that's been sitting in your trash can for like 2 weeks. That's disgusting. I didn't smell that.
We're getting so hung up on these food smells.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Very weird. But the lady was cooking at the time, so who knows? It could have actually been Brussels sprouts. Who knows? But
I don't know.
Chris, you picking up on the smell of decay there. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, you must have smelled Caleb's body because that's where he actually passed. And it may have been left out of, you know, the word of mouth, you know, that he actually was there for some time, enough to actually start to decay.
Oh my, what? They left him there?
Well, why else would Chris have smelled decay? You know, like a bloated body.
Well, wait a minute. Like, so she was trying to drag him into the bedroom. He made it to like the threshold of the bedroom, and what? They just left the body there?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. See, wasn't told from our tour guide, but with what Chris picked up, I'm thinking maybe he was left there for some time while Lillian went to grieve or inform the rest of the house that Caleb had passed, and maybe she then needed some other men to help lift him.
Well, I mean, presumably.
Yeah, I'm just
I don't know. Like,
getting some ideas there, but but we have Rachel. Yay! Hi, Rachel. She was with us last night. She was with us last night too. And she
oh my God, I feel so bad. She's like, I'm so nauseous. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so we all have a little bit of intuition with us, and unfortunately for Rachel, her intuition comes out in the form of nausea. But
oh no,
it is a very I mean, that slaps you right in the face. You know right away that something unnatural is going on. But she is saying that remember the house was also in a flood and had a lot of standing water in it, so there could be some residual mold smell also that we were picking up on. And that could have been that decay smell also, and totally could have been, but it could be completely explainable. But it's just such a coincidence that that's the spot where Caleb died, and that happened to be where you picked up that type of a smell, Chris.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it's kind of funny because, like I said, like I was getting different impressions of him, you know, and I was just like, and I felt bad for the guy because it sucked. Like, it's an awful way to go, but like for whatever reason, like he loved his bed, and like there were African masks like above the bed.
I don't know about that. Do you think that was decor that he liked. I mean, that's what they ended up doing with the room to actually make it look masculine and make it look like his space. But I can't imagine. I mean, our tour guide didn't mention that he was a hunter or like.
Yeah, he was, because that's the impression that I got when I was in the room. And like
David in chat says this show needs Febreze.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you're not wrong.
He definitely was a hunter, because that's what they were telling me like when I was in there. But he said no, that the African masks were not from him. They were like an add-on, because they kind of wanted to give it like an exotic feel, even though he said he never actually was on safari. Like they just thought it was like a cool thing. But he did, the bear that was downstairs, like when you go in the sitting room, there's a big bear and he's kind of like this.
Yeah, it was a bear cub, but I mean, that was not original taxidermy or anything. That was like a prop for the haunted house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're saying that was a prop, but he shot several of the deer, because there were deer that were mounted on the walls around in the house, and he did shoot the deer, and he was very proud of it. He was very proud of it.
Where the pub is in the restaurant.
Say that again, Chris.
It was there was two deer heads, opposite directions, staring at each other almost, and it's right outside where the pub / restaurant is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the impression that I got of Caleb, very masculine man. Like, he liked to drink, he liked to party, he wasn't averse to a little cocaine, like he liked women, like he was a big Lillian said he's a rabble rouser.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
that makes sense for the history of the house and whatnot. Now, the other thing that I found that was really cool, that I actually really liked, but it was also kind of funny, that just adds to, the fact that there were 2 illegal businesses being ran out of the house.
Oh,
now, I'm just going to sidebar right here real quick and just mention to everybody, this is up in northern Pennsylvania, okay? This is in Reading, Pennsylvania. This is on an old wood road, like a road through the woods, rather. And it's like, historically, when you think of these kinds of activities, when you think of a brothel, when you think of illegal gambling and whatnot, it's, in my mind, I don't associate it with this part of the country. I associate it more with the South or
even New York.
Or New York, like big cities, not Podunk, Reading, Pennsylvania. So it's really fascinating to, then start to visualize these goings on in that part of the country. And it's just so remote. And I would have always just assumed that it would have been small town folk and farmers in this area.
No.
Here comes Caleb.
No, they're telling me now, like they said, even the mayor of Douglasville entertained himself there. I'm trying to get the year. Late 1800s.
Rachel
to early
says that
1900s.
Quakers liked to get freaky.
Oh yeah, they do though. Like, and they liked that it was remote and in the country, because honestly, even us coming up there, even the second time, and for me it was the third time, we almost missed it, because like there's not a big blazing sign in the front, like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and
like,
the parking lot that you pull into at first, it's a different, it's a separate business that's in the front of that parking lot. So I was like, oh, where do we go? Because I couldn't see the house or anything at the time. So I was like lost in the first half of the parking lot until I finally just went around back, and I was like, oh, here's everything back here. So it's not well advertised, but if you use the Google Maps address, it's easy to find. But if you use the address that's on the Facebook event, it will take you 2 miles in the wrong direction. So.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, because like we were trying to drive really slow, and of course the lady behind us was like pissed, because she's like, what the hell? And I'm like, lady, it's dark as shit, there's like a really like long country road, there's no lights out here,
nobody in the country goes the speed limit. I don't even know why they post speed limit signs. I mean, everyone's just
yeah, and like it was fine, but like if you think about it, like, I mean, what better to have a country getaway where, like, apparently what I'm hearing is they paid off the local cops. Like, they were, like, the police were well aware of it. They just kind of were like, you know what, let me have a little kickback.
Well, you know what, Lisa,
whatever.
that brings me back to, like, I got totally sidetracked with what I was starting out saying, but when I was bringing up just the irony of the location. But you bringing up, how they, paid off cops and whatnot. The funny part of that, though, is Um, and Chris, do you remember too? The tour guide said why that was Caleb's favorite bedroom, and he had how he had the side staircase. There was a second staircase right there, so he could make an easy escape if they did show up to like do a raid or anything.
Yeah, they did. Like I think they said that side staircase was like it led out to like the side of the house, and like he could, like
he
it was
kept
like
his
sort of
horses
like the
there.
back. Huh?
He kept his horses there so that he could just make a fast getaway.
Yeah, because like it was, to be able to just quickly go, like, but like from what I'm hearing, like they had one incident of breaking and entering, but they said they honestly did not have a lot of trouble. Like they paid the cops, and like they said, like, you know, there were quite a few dignitaries like that came through there. Like surprisingly, for like I said, I mean, I was surprised too because I'm like, it's Reading, but like it's they had quite like I can kind of the feel that I got from the house was, you know, like remember the show Cheers?
Yeah,
like from like it was in Boston, and like they have like the beginning where everybody knows your name, and like they have the pictures, and they have like, you know, like the old time pictures, and like the one guy's like holding his drink up like that. That's kind of like what I kind of got from it, like that old like kind of
like, yeah,
like,
David in chat is saying this sounds like Tony Soprano's rural hideout. It's like, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's really like it was very elegant. It was very, and like one of the things that the tour guy said is he said Babe was a friend of theirs that would come visit, and she had been a beautiful like burlesque dancer. She was I think like what I was telling the tour guide is that she told me that like she had a lot of young gay men that were like her fans. That was like her target audience because, and one of the things that kind of like occurred to me is she was kind of like a Betty Boop. Like she did like beautiful burlesque.
You said that her picture was hanging upstairs.
Yes.
Which picture was that? Because I got this image of her in my head, but I didn't know there was an actual photograph of her. Where's her picture?
Yeah, it wasn't a photograph. It was actually, and I think it was a painting. And like when you come into the room, she had like that couch that she laid down on, the chaise. Yeah. And then there was like the sofa, and then there was a picture on her on the opposite wall. And I never even looked at the picture. Like I kept saying to the tour guide, I see a woman that looks like Baby Newworth. Again, from Cheers. She was Lilith, and she like they did like Frasier the spinoff. Yeah. And I said I keep getting Baby Newworth, and like Baby Newworth is an elegant.
So she had straight hair like that. Because what I was picturing was more like that 1920s like bob cut kind of.
No, like she said it was slightly curly at the ends. She was a little taller than Baby Newworth. This is what the information I'm getting, and she was also in the Foley. I can't say it. 𝕬𝕦𝕝𝕚, the Foleys. I can't say that word right. I think is that ice.
Boudoir, like boudoir.
𝕬𝕦𝕝𝕚. They said think ice-capades. I heard ice-capades.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure what that is, but like that's what I'm getting. And like she was, she was adored, like adored by like, you know. And then like
so AJ Ball in chat is trying to help us learn how to speak, you know, use our words.
I'm so sorry.
It says it's Foley's 𝕬𝕝𝕝𝕚. I don't know if this is. I don't know. I'm sorry. This is where we show our silliness here.
Yeah, like I keep.
If it's more than two syllables, us simple folk just don't know.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. Yeah, like they just said 𝕬𝕝𝕝𝕚, but she was such like from what the impression I was getting is she was so charming and amazing that literally it's kind of like the impression I'm getting is that it was like Marilyn Monroe would come and the men would just be like, oh my God, like she was so beautiful and so charming.
We got in chat, Lion Fire Strike has just come in saying hi, it's me again. So hello Lion. And
hello Lion.
David Christopher is saying this French lesson is awesome. Yeah, because we're just all over the place, right?
I spent 3 years of French in high school and I was like, I cannot say that word. I'm sorry, I just can't say it.
So
but yeah.
So I just wanted to walk everyone through again what was happening. So we were in that back bedroom, and Chris, you started to smell. You said you smelled decay. Now, did that give you any feelings? Like, did you start to, or did you just notice the smell?
Just the smell.
Did you think anything of it at the time?
try to think if anyone else other than me tried to smell it, but when you, Lisa, had a different smell, you, Para Ann, had a different take of the smell. It was like it smelled different for each of us.
Yeah, and like Rachel, she said that she kept smelling grilled cheese. So
Well, now you're just making me hungry.
I know, right? Yeah, but
Yeah.
that part of the house, after we left that bedroom, and walking through the hallway, and then we walked into the small bedroom, the with all the dolls in it.
Oh my god,
that was
your
right
husband,
above. That was right.
Your husband was like, "Oh no, no, no," and Rachel was like, "No," like, and I'm like, "What? They're really sweet little baby dolls." Like, and she was like, "Oh no, that's so wrong," and I'm like, "What?" It's just
It was okay. The amount of dolls present were a little concerning. Okay, not the fact that there were dolls, but the number.
Yeah.
There were dozens.
Okay, fair enough. But it was Caleb's mother's room, and like she had a thing for dolls, and like I did post a picture of the little one that was sitting in the chair, like kind of like he was like a ventriloquist dummy one. Like he's got dark hair and he's got like the mouth that like you can see.
Yeah, he had the lines. He was a little
It was like Howdy Doody.
Yeah, like Howdy Doody a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, that doll was creepy. Oh
and
my god.
That room was right above the summer kitchen. So the fact that we were smelling all these food smells and everything, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's funny because like one lady said she felt something tug on her like I think her pant leg. I like honestly, I keep thinking to myself like maybe there's something wrong with me because I liked all the dolls. I mean the doll downstairs, Slappy, who's my favorite doll ever, like the little boy doll. The tour guide was saying that like they find him with his pants pulled down. So of course I'm like, that's awesome.
The tour guide said that?
Yeah.
I was not there for that. Oh my god, really?
No, he told us that last time, and like so.
What are people doing to Slappy?
No. Like basically, the information that I got out of that was that that doll was modeled after somebody who was a purveyor of liquor. They were a bootlegger. They were they used to come in. They liked to drink. They used the services. They were professing a lot.
Okay.
Okay. They said they like to profess to blondes a lot. No wonder he was smiling. But yeah, like, and it's just
that
funny
makes me wonder too. Like, Lisa and Chris,
Yeah.
like that goes back to like, I just got this like random thought. I don't have any confirmation or anything. But what do you guys think of the idea that Slappy is still well and alive and a witch turned him into that doll and he's been cursed because he was such a prick in life?
Oh, no, but he wasn't a prick. Like he was just, and honestly, like what my like feeling of it as a medium is, I feel like the person that doll was based on, that doll was, made for, like in the image.
He was a prankster. He was a prankster.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I had to laugh because the first time I went to this place, like they had a grand piano sitting there, and Slappy was like sitting on the grand piano. So just to fuck with people, I turned him around. And then like later on, like women were like coming out, they were looking. I'm like, oh my god, he's turned around. They're like, like, and I'm like, it's like, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Like I shouldn't have done that. But like he's like he was telling me, he's like I was laughing. So I think that like if they had found him in different places, like because I always think about like Annabelle, like because it's like a real true life story, like Annabelle the doll, like Ragdoll, whatever, they were finding her all over the place. But like the tour guide had told us that Slappy would they would find him with like his pants down around his knees, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, maybe they should call him Slap Happy or Slappy Happy, and like we were laughing, but like part of it is, we were cracking up, but part of it is that I think the spirit likes that particular spirit likes they like people coming to see the spirit, like it's because I kept staring at him and I could see like the spirit inside the doll, and it was a very happy spirit. That's why I was like, you need to bring the EVP monitor over here.
Right.
That's my boo right there. I was like, that's my Slappy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first room, that side room directly over the summer kitchen. That was the first room that had the dolls. And Rachel's saying like she was sweating so bad in that doll
Oh my
room.
God, yeah.
And that's just part of her intuition. Again, like along with feeling nauseous, she also gets very hot and starts to sweat.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, plus like you got the mask on. I mean, we were all like,
it was
you know,
stuffy, and I just
Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot of airflow, but regardless, she said that it was exceptional, even for the circumstances how she started to feel. So she didn't stay in that room. I think she like stood out in the hallway for that. But the story there that our tour guide was telling us is that at one point, Lillian, who was Caleb's mistress, she actually used. Was it her or was it after her time? But at one point, anyway, the house was used as an orphanage. So this bedroom was to kind of remember all of the children that were in the house. And he started telling us some of the stories of the children that they, there was a construction worker working on the third floor staircase, and as he was working he saw a little girl just twirling and dancing about up there, and he said, oh hey, don't come down here. Oh, it was Lillian's mom who started the orphanage. Rachel is remembering.
He's like, little girl, be careful, like, I don't want you to fall.
And he was like, just go upstairs, don't come down here, I'm working. And she disappeared. Didn't disappear, but she turned and went back up the staircase, and he saw a man's hand come from behind a wall and grab her hand, and then they, she went behind the wall and was gone. So he said something to Lillian's mom about, who was that little girl that was so sweet, that man came down and helped her, and blah blah blah. And of course, obviously the story, she replies, oh, there's nobody lives here,
there's not a little, which and, like to me, like,
I'm sorry, this was later on. This was after Lillian's mom and all had passed. This was down the road. This was in more modern times when he was doing like renovations to the house, and he was like, no, nobody's living here. Well, who was that little girl that was so sweet? I didn't know people were still here. And then the owners at the time, this was more in like 60s or 70s time, modern time.
Yeah. And I think there's multiple layers of spirits. Like, I really think
that it's not it goes through all the decades. I mean, so that's one of the stories that our tour guide had told us. And the one thing that he cared to point out was that it was thought that perhaps this was... was it Lillian's daughter? I don't know. Rachel, do you remember? Or Chris, do you remember the little girl? And then she had the deformity on her right leg.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
And I hear she had cerebral palsy, is what I'm hearing.
So that was possibly the little girl that the man saw dancing, because he did note the deformity on her right leg. But our tour guide mentioned that the little girl. During the time who actually had the deformity on her leg, she was kept locked away in a closet.
Oh my God, he said that?
Yeah, he did tell us that last night, because
why?
That's how they would treat any disfigurement or any.
I do remember like that they would isolate her from other people. Like, I didn't hear in a closet, because I'm like, in a closet. And like, I think what part of it is that's interesting is one of the things that I've learned about like dealing with the other side, God bless them, is that like they realize that when they're in spirit, like they don't have those restrictions. Like they don't have, illnesses and like broken limbs, and like they can fly, do like whatever. Like they just need to think it and they can do it.
Like I get like now that because she wasn't allowed out in the house because she was kept in a closet. But now in death she was like, well, I'm going all over the place in this house.
Oh yeah.
And Rachel is saying that you're right, Rachel. She said she thinks it was one of the ladies of the house. So it was a child born out of wedlock. As part of the business. The business. Yeah. That's right.
I would agree with Rachel.
I remember that.
And like she also just said to me that do you remember when we were getting up to leave and your husband stood up and that little tiny like butterfly sticker kind of like
That was
like
so sweet. I don't know where that came from.
That
Like,
was from her because like the tiniest little butterfly sticker like flew off the back of his pants and landed on the seat. Like, and I said to him, "Oh, did you drop something?" And Evan was like, "No." And like I picked it up and it was the tiniest little butterfly sticker, and I'm like, "Oh, and like we have no idea where it came from. It certainly was not on the seat."
yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a butterfly sticker anywhere on me. I don't think Chris did. I don't think Evan did. We have no idea. And like they're saying that she wanted to acknowledge our kindness.
Hold on 1 second. Lion Fire Strike says that you need to leave. So you're heading out before the end of the show then? Okay, well, I hope everything's okay. And hope you can tune back in and finish the rest of the episode when you're able to listen to it. And also, thanks for tuning in for as long as you could.
Oh.
All right. I hope everything's okay. If not, just message me and let me just All right. Good night. I hope you're okay. So, so the butterfly sticker was really cute. And
it was so sweet. I was like, oh, like part of me was like, some of the spirits were like, take it home with you. I'm like, no, like, it's very, like, it was really sweet because of course butterfly is like a sign of angels, like especially like children angels, usually like white butterflies. It's a sign of the dead. But I was like, no, like this belongs here.
Yeah.
I think I stuck it on like on a little statue. I don't know like I showed it to the host because I was like, oh, look. And they were like, oh. But she is such a sweet little girl. Like, God bless her.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, so after we left that side room and we went down the hall a little and we went in, then there was another bedroom off to right. And there were even more dolls in this room.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. The ones with the faces. So they said a local psychic had made them.
Yeah.
And
so
like,
this story was really interesting. They said that a local medium had created the dolls based on her reading and what she had seen. So for some reason, 2 of the dolls had 3 faces. So they were like blockheads.
On the side.
They were blockheads, and you could actually spin the head, and each side had a different expression. And the other dolls, they had like sunken in eyes or a lot heavy wrinkles. They all looked like sort of mutilated in a sense. They looked very sickly. Like none of them looked like happy people who just they didn't look like the residents of the house. So like I don't know, like Chris, did you like get anything on? What were your thoughts on that of like who these dolls could have been, created after? They looked so like morbid.
Could have been anybody, but I knew that this is the one part of the house in particular, Perry Ann, that I wanted. Was like, Perry Ann, this is for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I figured you'd get a kick out of the dolls. I know Lisa and I both did. It's like, this is so cool.
Well, like, I thought the dolls were beautiful. Like, I know the initial reaction when people walk in and, like, they're laying on the bed and, like, people go, ooh, But, like, what I'm hearing is this particular medium, she was seeing, like, she was creating them from images that Spirit was sending to her. Like, I don't think the Spirit, like, her guides, whoever, were like they directed her to somewhat photographs, but the people that had the 3 faces, like the doll that had she was indicating that they were mediums themselves. Like that's why, like, because they could see, not only like physically see, but they were like in the other realms as well. And
I would love to interview this medium and get her experience creating these dolls and see exactly who she was modeling these after, because can't imagine the people in the house. It's like almost like she modeled the dolls in the image of how they looked when they had died. Like that's how morbid these faces were on these dolls. They were not cute.
She did say that several of them were starving. She said the one with the bags, the sunken eyes, was starving.
Unless those were the orphans from when the time when the house was an orphanage. But Chris, in that room, did you feel anything? Because when I was standing there, it felt like someone was touching my back. Yeah. Did you feel anything?
Not at all.
No?
At all.
Okay. Yeah. Rachel was saying, yeah, they looked like nightmares. Yeah, they did. They were not
Oh,
okay.
They do
In
yeah.
look
the
like
first
this.
in the first bedroom they were cute. In the second bedroom it was like, okay, I can see this being part of like the Halloween show.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But just for like regular decor, like it's a little bizarre. Not cute.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting. It's just kind of funny because, like, I myself, like, I like dolls. Like, I don't know why I have a thing for dolls, and I don't actually have any right now. Like, I might have, like, now I have like a couple on my altar, but like, not really. But for some reason, like, I saw them and I was like, oh, like, and they're like the one guy, like, he kind of looked, I don't know if you remember seeing this, Anne, but he kind of looked like Danny DeVito. Like, he looked like a short Italian man, and he had like the expression lines on his face. And I know I
That's
have
the
a
one
thing
I'm
for,
talking about that had like the
yes,
bags under his eyes and even had like the wrinkle lines like sewn in
yeah, like,
under his eyes, and he was smaller than the rest of the dolls. Yeah.
yeah,
That
like
one
he
was
was,
so strange. I'm like a mix of like Uncle Fester and like Danny
oh,
DeVito in one. Like,
one of the, I got it, like, they're telling me that he was Caleb's great uncle. I do not know if that's verifiable, but I know that he was very close to the family. Like, whoever, because I instantly, like, the minute I saw the doll, I'm like, I like that doll. Like, that doll is cool. Like, I'm like, there's some, like, I wanted to like kiss him. I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
yeah. But
You know,
that
and I was like,
room,
yeah,
that room is where we got the story of the old hag of the house. And
yes,
her name was, oh geez, I can't
oh,
remember. Oh, Elmira. Her name was
Elmira,
Elmira.
yeah,
Elmira.
Yeah,
Elmira
and
or Elvira?
Elmira
Elmira.
with an M.
Elmira,
Yeah,
like Elmira. Okay.
and she, and our tour guide, very friendly. I'm sure under his mask he was smiling while he said this, but he was like, "This was Elmira's room," and she wants you to know that she hates you.
I know. We were like, oh, crap.
I
Yeah.
bet that is like his favorite line the whole night. I bet he just loves delivering that for a reaction.
Yeah. She's not like, the impression that I got is that like she just didn't want people tromping through her house. Like, and I can understand because it's like, listen, like, I don't want people tromping through my house. I don't want people coming in and out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And like, especially like sometimes ghost hunters, like they're not super respectful. Like they sit there, they make stupid jokes. They're like,
Yeah.
like, and it's just like, like, it's like,
Yeah, and
it's
with
just,
it being open to the public and all, I mean, there's a lot that I'm sure, like, she just doesn't even understand because she's still in her time period, and then seeing us in our time period, I'm sure we are, no matter what, there's nothing we can do that wouldn't be disrespectful, in her eyes, because
and like,
we're just so different than,
like she, like what she was telling me is she's like, I don't want my things touched. Like I don't, like this is my house. And she said, how would you feel if someone came in your house and they were picking stuff up and they were like, oh, look at that, look at that. And she said to me last night, she said people have made really disparaging like comments about like the furniture or the bed, and she's like, dude, like it's my house, like knock it off. Like, and I can imagine, like I'd be like, get out of my house, like you want to be rude about it, like get out.
Yeah, Chris,
did
you get any sense from her of like her presence in her bedroom or anything? Like it was really hot back there. No, that room was actually a little cooler. And then
yes, it was.
And the
and
other
that was
bedroom was really warm. But so like Chris, were you able to like did you pick up on her at all? On Elmira?
No, if anything, it may have been Dave's room from the last visit, because I went in there, I got to scope the whole room out, and I thought it was great. And I was just telling Lisa, like, this is very erotic.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there was a big naked woman picture above the bed. Like, yeah, like I kind of got the mental visual of like young Frankenstein, like where Terry Garr's like knocking on the door, and Gene Wilder goes, "What knockers?" She goes, "Yes, what knockers?" Because we're like, damn, like it's like Remember that movie? Huh?
Wasn't it Katinka?
I can't remember. Like the movie Frankenstein, like I can't. Like it's like she comes to help Dr. Frankenstein in his lab, like, and like he goes up to the door and it's got this ginormous like knocker and he's like knocking at it. She goes, what knockers? Or no, he said it, and he's like, what knockers? And she goes, yes. And like, I just was like,
I don't remember
damn.
that
I mean,
part. Yeah, but
oh yeah, you fit
so
into Chris's eyes,
but
like,
then
he's like,
So
damn.
for the record, it's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Oh
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But then, so
I
like
mean,
right
it was-
across from `𝕬𝕦ra's bedroom was the bathroom, and that is where `𝕬𝕦ra is often seen. So when people, now we were reminded several times that none of the bathrooms in the upstairs work.
Oh yeah.
So don't
no,
attempt
no.
to use them, and that became like a
Yeah.
running joke for the night because there were 3 bathrooms upstairs. So we, every time we came across a bathroom, the tour guide was like, also not working. Don't try
don't
it.
do it. Yeah,
But,
no, I
he
think
said, what'd you say, Chris?
You can go in there, but you can't use them.
Right, exactly.
yeah, I think
But-
I tried to take a picture. Like, I aimed the camera in there. I'm not like I have to go back and look at the pictures because, like, one of the things that I did notice is if you go back to the video when we were in the summer kitchen and you look at the video, you guys are sitting there like you're in the center. Evan's next to you and Rachel, but it's like you can see spirits whizzing all over the place. Like you can literally see the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
Like if you really look at it, like you can see it.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you can. But the
Oh,
story of
absolutely.
𝕬𝕦ra is that in the time when the house was occupied and all bathrooms were working, ladies would go into the bathroom there, and as they were washing their hands, they would look up in the mirror and they would see as this old woman standing behind them, kind of just like glaring. So that's the story of that's how she gets the name old hag. In that sense, just very
That's so
menacing
mean.
kind of presence, right? And would spook the ladies out of the house. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't really notice her too much, but while we were in that room, like I said, something did definitely touch my back. And then later on, the tour guide had mentioned that that's a common experience for people on the tour. And David is asking, how big is this house? It's very large. I don't know the dimensions. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of how many bedrooms.
There's 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And each bedroom had its own private closet. All the bedrooms except for one had their own private bathroom. I mean, it was very elegant, for the time.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was huge. I mean, they use it now for, like I said, they turned it into a Halloween show, and they use it also for like private events. Like it's big enough to have. It's big enough for like dinner parties and banquets and things like that.
Yeah.
They did call it a mansion of its time. So
yes. Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because one of the messages I just got is that in Babe's bedroom, which is upstairs, and I do have pictures of it, like when me and Chris went 2 weeks ago, that was that the only one? Wait a minute. Yeah, they said that was one of the brothel rooms, like I guess like that was like the main room, and one of the reasons, of course, that they had the erotic art on there was to encourage gentlemen to look up and hurry up and finish. Sorry, I said it, but like that was one of the reasons why like it was there, and it's like Caleb wanted to make sure that everybody was having a good time. He didn't want to rush them, but at the same time, I mean, like it's, it was basically, to entice and stuff.
Yeah,
and it was
Babe's room was actually, I forget, it was that was the main room where the action happened, but when Babe would stay, when she came to visit, she always requested that room, so that was her private bedroom when she was there, and that room actually had like a formal sitting room, and then there was like a doorway into her bedroom, and then there was a huge closet and bathroom and everything. So it was like a little apartment in there. So she really got the good treatment, and she just loved it there. And she would stay for like weeks at a time, is what our tour guide was saying. So after we viewed all the bedrooms upstairs and heard the story of the old hag, we went downstairs, and at that time, that's when the investigation part of the evening began, and they had some EMF meters laid out for us and dowsing rods, which was really cool and unexpected. I was expecting them to have really just EMF meters, because on the investigations I've been on before, that's typically what's provided, and the dowsing rods are kind of considered older tools, then they're not really used anymore now that all this electronic technology has came out. But we did grab a EMF meter and a pair of dowsing rods, and believe it or
Oh,
not,
yeah.
the dowsing rods were more responsive
Yes.
than the EMF meter. And
Yes.
the woman of the house even mentioned that ever since they started offering dowsing rods, that seems to be true, that the EMF meters don't respond as often anymore since dowsing rods are being offered. And she said, she did a demonstration for us because she says that she has a teenage female attached to her. So she held the dowsing rods out and she asked if that the teenager was with her, and they crossed, they made the X, and then they separated. And then she said, "Can you tell me where you are?" And the dowsing rods turned and pointed directly to her.
Yeah,
so
and that's exactly what happened last time too.
Yeah, so she did a demonstration for us. What, Chris?
There was a case where Lisa said, here's some rods, see what happens. So I take them, and I'm just walking around, just seeing where the rods would point, and they always point to a specific location, mainly where you were sitting, Marianne.
Yeah.
When we were in the parlor, or when we were in the summer kitchen?
Summer kitchen.
Yeah, they spirit said you yourself, Anne, send a very strong psychic connection, like a very strong psychic signal is what I'm getting. I do as well, but like they said my job is more to draw them out, but they said you're like a beacon, like they're right, like they love you. The dead absolutely love you. Like they love me too.
But that makes sense because, I've said it before in past episodes, like, one of the things that happens to me a lot on investigations is I might not get any EMF activity or might not have any actual, experiences, but after the fact, go back and reviewing all the evidence and whatnot, I 8 times out of 10 get pretty solid EVPs. So
we were very interested in seeing what you got.
Yeah,
so you were getting some major readings.
Yeah, so the first spot that we set up. So now that the tour guide part is over, and we got to go out on our own and do our own investigation. Now that we had the EMF meter and the dowsing rod, so the first place that I wanted to start out in was the parlor where we started out, with the tour. So we sat out there and we were doing an EVP session. And I think at that time, Lisa and Chris, you guys were talking to Slappy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I could have sat with him all night. I was like, dude, let's just chill, just like hang out. But but I was like, I gotta go. Like, it's all good.
Right. So, so we started out there, and what happened during investigation, I noticed that the audio, the stereo lines on the audio recorder were going up very high, but we weren't actually hearing anything. So in reviewing that recording, it just sounds like a lot of static, almost like just tons of interference. Now, mind you, like my cell phone was off, so I don't know that I had any electronics on me that could have been interfering, besides if it was interacting with the EMF meter, but they were on 2 separate tables. One was on the left of me and one was on the right. So I don't.
Yeah, they keep saying white noise to me. They're like white noise.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, but there was a lot of like static interference that picked up. But for the most part, that room, the air felt heavy, but I didn't really. I felt like maybe after like 10 minutes, it just like whatever was trying to communicate or whatever just left.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, let's go to the summer kitchen. This is the highlight of the night, is the summer kitchen. Absolutely. So I'm just gonna let me show you guys some pictures real quick. Lisa, I found what you sent me, so I'm just going to put that up.
Sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. So this, let's see if my computer wants to load. Yay. Okay. So this is, I don't know how well you guys can see that.
I actually cannot see anything. I don't know if I have my.
So this is us in the summer kitchen. So Evan is standing behind me with his phone recording everything, because at this point the millimeter was reacting, it was going up, and the EMF meter, which is this little box like right here, it's a little hard to see, actually it got the highest reading ever. It went up to like 24. So I'm not sure what kind of electronic output that was. That seems that seems a little much to be paranormal in my opinion. I feel like there must have been something going on. Now I noticed with the flash that there's wires running on the wall and, you know, an outlet down here and
I saw that.
And with it being such an old house, I wonder if maybe these just aren't properly shielded and we're putting out, you know, something every now and then. But that's, you know, we can go back and, you know, figure that out. But the funny thing is, you see these cigar boxes right here. Then up here is the audio recorder. When I go to put the audio recorder on these boxes, every time it, you know, I set it down, the EMF meter would spike up to like enough to set the alarm off. So it had to be over a 5.0 reading. And it just kept doing it over and over and over again. And finally I say, you know, oh, I'm sorry, you know, do you not want me, can I not put this here? You know, and Lisa, you actually had to ask permission from Spirit for me to be able to leave it there before that stopped happening. And
I'm hearing they like to put their drinks on there, and they were like, I kind of got like a mental like, hold on, we got to clean it off. Like,
I was blocking them from getting to their cigars. I mean, that's,
I mean, and family show, like, and honestly,
so
I mean, Spirit, they love tobacco. Like, I mean, this is one of my offerings, you know, to my guys. Is like they love cigars, they love tobacco, they love cigarettes. You know, I mean, I even like I was getting requests tonight, like, could you please smoke a cigar while you're on camera? And I'm like, guys, I cannot do a podcast and sit there and smoke. Like I'm like I'm just not that coordinated. Like I love you to death, but no. But
so this is the summer kitchen, and this was actually a luxury of the house. So more commonly, summer kitchens were detached from a house for you know, just for fire prevention and whatnot, if there was an accident in the kitchen and whatnot.
God forbid.
And tragically, many of the women actually went up in flames from using these big open fireplaces because as they were cooking, the embers and whatnot would pop and come out and would catch the bottoms of their dresses on fire. So
because they were saying they could not reveal their ankles. They said that they had such the modesty that they couldn't, to see a woman's ankles or like the top of her foot she was considered to be a hussy. So they had to have their dresses all the way down. And then like these poor women, like a little spark would catch their dress and then
exactly. So the cool thing about this oven was that it was, what they say, it was like 4 deep. So it was that much larger than the typical summer kitchen oven would have been. And the hope with that is that, you know, by the, you know, as the embers popped and whatnot, that the food would be so deep in the oven that hopefully, you know, the time it took the ladies to reach in and grab the food out, that the embers would have fallen just around instead of
this poor lady.
So hopefully that would prevent the embers from popping out of the oven, and so the ladies would just reach in and grab the food out. Now here's Rachel. She's in the chair next to me, and she has her pendulum out. So with this, she was confirming everything. So when the EMF meter over here when the alarm on this would trigger, her pendulum would start swinging, doing large motions. And when the alarm wasn't going off, her pendulum was mostly still. So despite you know, this possibly, you know, unshielded electric, you know, with the wires and whatnot over here, there was still some correlation between the EMF and Rachel's pendulum. So now this room was awesome. It was so awesome. This is where I think that we were actually talking to Babe, because once I started saying her name, that's when the EMF was going up to like 24.
She's very chatty.
And
like
and you know, and it was amazing because I don't see that kind of response when I'm doing the live investigations, like I was saying. So
well, I mean, I think this is an extremely spiritually active place, and I think like a lot of it is that, like, when you come into a house, you know, and you're like, you know what, I would love to know you. I would love to know what your life was like. Like, what was your life like? Like, you know, what was your favorite food? Like, what kind of stuff did you like to do? I mean, I think that spirit, like, I mean, not everybody, like, but like they're like, yeah, like we would love to talk to you about it. I hear spirit all day long. Like I've had conversations with people like, oh, really? Like you make that recipe, like, and it's just, and like they were happy to talk to us. Is the impression that I got.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get any, I had no hostility. And really, when we were sitting there and Evan was sitting next to me, like I was like, all right, the air around me, like I had a temperature decrease, like all around me, and like Evan's like, yup, he verified it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this room, I mean, you look at the decoration here. This is just another photo that Lisa took.
Yeah.
This does not look very kitcheny, right? I mean, like there is just
No, not
decoration
really.
everywhere. It's just another room of the house. So I mean, just think of like the prestige that they had here to be able to do this with their summer kitchen.
Oh yeah,
and
well, they
with
were
it being
loaded.
attached. And
Like
there's
they were loaded.
yeah, and there's
they were
there's
just
an
like,
ashtray here where they would sit and smoke, and over here, these are where the pipes were, the props. They were prop pipes, but it's very likely that they did gather out here at at the time and actually smoke.
Yeah.
And then over here, down here in this part of the picture, there was a bar.
oh yeah,
bar.
and they're saying to me now that they said we did have some mobsters. They said we don't know who Tony Soprano is, and I'm like, well, you probably do. Like he's actually over there. So,
Yeah. So I just want to play the video that you sent, also. So, oops, that is the wrong box. All right, let me bring this up. This is. Let me start this over. Okay. You hear that? You hear those three things?
Caleb, we would love to talk to you.
Was this one of your favorite spots, babe?
I'm hearing he said, yes, it was, and I'm getting a really happy feeling. And they just said, tell her to keep asking him questions. He likes to talk. Like he likes women.
It's so beautiful. Like I'm getting the most happy feeling of.
I'm like, no,
They're saying
he likes when people answer.
We were so happy. They said, we know that you love us. We were so happy to come out and talk about the things that we like to do. We would like to visit with you somewhere. Like that's what I got. I have like a messenger system. Like there's like, I don't know that I was directly. Okay, they're telling me I was directly in contact with Kayla because I could physically get them, but like I'm getting like messages from like I'm getting them passed down.
Yeah, and right there you hear the beep when it's going off.
Oh yeah.
And if you rewind just a little bit, there's a little sigh.
You heard a sigh? Wow, what was that?
Wait, I went too far. Hold on. It's when you.
Ooh.
Let me go back.
All right, I just heard I heard an EVP on that. I heard a voice on that one right there.
Yeah, so it's starting over, but here, listen again for about 20 seconds to the end.
I hear a lot of voices.
You hear that like right when you walk in.
Yeah, that's a couple people talking.
Those three things? Yeah. So that was going on, and you were able to capture that.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull up chat. Yeah.
Are you guys in chat? Are you hearing this? Like, what are you seeing? Like, as far as all that?
Yeah, Lady Liz is saying that she heard voices too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like hissing in the background and whatnot.
Now, see, it's funny because I played that. I did not hear that. Like, I didn't hear that at all.
No, we couldn't hear anything at the time. It sounded like it was super quiet. I mean, we heard the people upstairs, but that was about it. Now, Chris, you were sitting over on the bar during this, so
Yes.
Explain how you felt in the summer kitchen.
I like the atmosphere. I was mostly trying to pay attention to you, Rachel, Evan, and Lisa as to what you were doing. I
Yeah.
was basically going out of my way to be extra quiet. It's like,
Yeah.
don't make a sound.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, no, it's just like I said, it's just very
No.
interesting because I just like it's like I can feel like just even looking at that video, like I can feel like a lot of spirits are coming in and like I can kind of feel like oh we're all here because it's like I kind of the impression I'm getting is that I just got a quote from Papa Getty. They like to make an entrance. They like when people are like, "Oh my God, they said something." Like, and they were definitely responding to questions.
Yeah,
Like they,
so I mean,
yeah,
unfortunately, like right when we really got talking, we're getting a lot of response. Unfortunately, that's when they were like, you know, the lady of the house and our tour guide were like, "Yeah, we want to go to bed. Can you leave?"
yeah.
Very
And
politely.
that's
They
what
were
I
just
was
like,
kind of
"Hey, we're
talking.
gonna
I was
lock up
kind of
now."
talking to going in the bedroom upstairs. I'm like, Ann, come on. I'm like, Chris, distract them. Like, let's go, 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 go. And like, but yeah, we were like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, they let us stay until midnight, so we were there for a
We
full
were, yeah,
2.5 hours. So they
yeah.
were
It was
very
pretty
generous with their
intense.
time there.
Yeah, because I basically told them, I said, you're going to be featured on this, with Coffee with the Dead. I said it's going to be. I mean, I wasn't trying to be like whatever, but I was like, like, is it okay? And they were like, oh yeah, like no problem, whatever. And like they said, they love mediums, And one of the things that I got from Babe is that Babe is saying to me right now that she doesn't identify herself as a witch but she identifies herself a bit as a sorceress, and she said that she would put
Chris, are you okay? You're like dying over there. Oh, Lisa got cut off. Oh
I'm
darn.
still here.
She'll have to call back in. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I see you over there like yawning. Are you like you're like actually dying? You're actually
No, I'm not.
decaying over there?
No, I'm not dying. What's happening is that I've had a very restless weekend, as you
Okay.
know.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
So
one thing I want to point out real quick, you when we finally saw each other in person for the first time last night, of course I'm wearing your shirt Coffee with the Dead and my purple chucks, which happen to match your hair.
yeah, how about that, right? I mean,
I was trying
that
to give away free advertising.
yeah, I mean, good planning on your part, right?
I hope it helped.
Our shirts do look good in person, guys. Just so you know, if you want to head over to that Teespring store and pick one up, wink, wink.
And when and Perry Ann, didn't you not say you were selling masks too?
Oh, thank you, Chris. Yes, my little helper out there with some promotion. Yes, we have like 4 different mask designs, so check those out.
How much are they, Perry Ann?
Oh, they're like $10. They're not
See?
bad.
And last question regarding the masks: if you buy all 4, do you get like a special deal?
I might send you some freebies. I might be feeling generous there if you really support me.
Oh, I'm just asking in general. You know I'm going to buy them inevitably. You know that.
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
asking for the rest of the fans out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the freebies. I'll probably give y'all some extra stickers and some things like that if you really
Hey.
buy a lot.
Hey, sticker I can put on the back of my laptop. Oh, she's back.
Perfect. Hey, Lisa.
I basically, for lack of a better word, I got cock blocked.
Oh well. Yeah, Lady Listen chat is saying that she thinks that the spirit cut you off.
She did.
Yeah. So
She did.
just to kind of wrap up now that you're back, we were just starting to talk about some of the awesome Coffee with the Dead merch that everybody needs to buy 2 of while you were gone.
Coffee dead.
Yes.
I apologize. Yeah, what I started to say was that okay, I just got cock blocked again. Yeah, like basically there was some kind of enchantment kind of stuff. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, there was some kind of enchantment magic that was being performed, and that's all I can say about it. Because the more I'm trying to say about it, I'm literally getting,
Just
stopped.
cut
Like
off.
that was, yeah, they literally, that was a butt kick. Like they
Yeah.
just kind of went boom.
Well, all good.
Yeah.
Because we are just about at the end of our story for tonight and just about
Sorry.
ready to wrap up. And
Yeah.
so, I guess it's only appropriate that you're getting cut off right towards the end, huh?
Yeah. They're like, we're done now.
Yeah,
It's
it's like we're tired. You guys have just been yapping.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so the summer kitchen was awesome. Definitely a hot spot for someone was trying to get through. Definitely was trying. So
Yes.
I you know, like I said, during that time though, like every time the EMF goes really high and is going off, there's so much interference, so much white noise on the audio recording. It's almost like trying to cover up what anyone is saying. It's just all this static and loud electronic noises that it's like that's all you can hear. So you can't hear what we're saying during that time or anything. It's just like being completely just censored out by all this noise.
Yeah,
I think that's really fascinating because that hasn't happened with investigations with me in the past. That's not a normal occurrence. So I'm really interested there. I wonder if there was a little malevolent spirit going on. Someone who just...
No. I just think that one of the things that I just got is they said, you know, there are still people like that are still like connected with the house, like the family, etc. And you know, there are things, you know, that they would prefer to be kept private.
I wonder if that was the old. I wonder if that was the 𝕊𝕦𝕐𝕚 though, the old hag, because she, you know,
it was.
She's told she's told as such an angry spirit and whatnot. So I don't know. But then the nice little gift that fell off of Evan was just this little like a dot, like 2 pixels big, little butterfly sticker. And I mean, it wouldn't be the strangest thing to ever fall off of Evan, mind you. I mean, it's not out of the question for us to have
I'm not even touching that one.
Yeah. I mean, it's not out of the question for us to have for us to have stickers, you know. We're giant children. But if we were gonna have a butterfly sticker, I mean, it would be like enormous. It would be as big as our heads and be full of glitter and rainbow, you know. This thing was like as big as our fingernail. So
it was just, I was like, oh, that is so kind.
It was almost like just saying like, you know, they didn't mind that we were there or something. It was almost just like a pleasant parting gift. It was.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know.
like I got an impression that honestly, like, and I had this experience in Gettysburg where we were sitting there smoking cigars with my girlfriend and drinking, is like they would have loved if everybody was just gone and we would just be sitting there like drinking and smoking and like we would have a party.
Yeah, they just love to really talk sometimes. And so AJ Ball, who is actually my dad, hi, he says, do spirits really get angry? And well, if they die angry, they stay angry. And also, if you disrespect them, after their death, then they're still alive in a sense. That energy is still alive, so they can still go through normal moods, and the personality changes based on how they're treated when you're in their space. So yeah, they totally can get angry, and I feel like maybe that happened a little bit last night. And now Rachel just reminded me of like the story of the house. She says, what about the chick that got axe murdered? Yeah.
Oh, God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember her name. We were really bad with names. But was that 𝕊𝕦𝕐𝕚? Was that her? I don't think it was her.
No.
There was 𝕊𝕦𝕐𝕚. There was Lillian. Was it Lillian? It wasn't Lillian.
Lillian was the mistress.
It was the mistress. And then there was a third woman. I don't remember her name. But anyway, so what happened was...
I heard actress. I don't know if that's accurate, but I heard actress.
Yeah, I don't know. But she was... I feel like it was an older woman. But anyway, she was downstairs and she was like doing whatever in the downstairs house. And... what had happened was burglars put a ladder up to the second floor window, and it was the bedroom with the dolls that had multiple faces and everything. It was in that bedroom window. And they came in through the window there, and
I remember now.
And she heard some noise, and so she went upstairs to check and see what was going on. And the burglars had taken her axe that she kept under her bed for self-defense. I guess it was like the baseball bat of the 30s, you know. Just have an axe, why not?
A little sharper.
Yeah. And so they just chopped her head right off as soon as she
that's horrifying.
Right in the hallway.
And then they were saying that they dismembered her later.
Well, so they went downstairs and they only took the valuables that were hidden in the grandfather clock. They didn't touch anything else in the house. So clearly whoever broke into the house, whoever committed the crime, knew the family, knew the house, was very
Yes.
close enough to know that
Yes.
secret.
Yes.
For one. So
She knew them. That's the messages I was getting, is that she did know them. And I kind of was like, well, how did you not stop them? And she was saying I was held down. Like, she's like, it was two big guys, and like,
yeah, I'm sure it had to
I'm
have
hearing
been.
two before,
then
and she just couldn't.
yeah, and our tour guide followed up later and said that a woman who was on the tour previously,
Oh, poor lady.
she said that she was like a medium of sorts, and she said that she
Yeah,
sensed
yeah.
that after the woman, you know, had lost her head or whatever, they took what they needed out of the grandfather clock, that they came back upstairs and chopped the woman's body into pieces just for fun. So
Well,
these
I
were.
also got that it's also easier to bury her that way. I mean, I don't know exactly.
I don't
what the
think
deal
criminals
was.
would have been thinking about making it easy.
I don't
to
know.
bury.
It's like, ew. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so that is the final story of our lovely night last night. We're going to leave you on a high note there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, the mental image of that. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah. So, Chris, do you have any takeaways from all this? Your overall feelings about the house? And
I only have one regret, that we didn't go to Babe's room and just so I could
Yeah.
tell her, like, Babe, she's
Yeah.
hot.
Oh my God, he's always talking like that. But like, yeah, her bedroom is beautiful. Like, it has wedding dresses.
well, you
that
can
are
see
like,
into it, right? From where we
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
yeah, and like, she has a closet, and she has a beautiful it's, for lack of a better word, like, it's kind of something you would see with steampunk. Like, it's kind of like a female waistcoat kind of thing. And my friend, I'll give a shout out to Marge. Like, my friend Bondi, she's like, oh my God, she's like, I would love to have that jacket. Like, she was drooling over the jacket, and it's such a beautiful room. And like, we just didn't get a chance to stop in there, and like, that's where like a lot of like I said, like, you know, the bordello, like, that's the
Yeah,
room.
they
and
had
like,
a lot
like,
of good,
yeah, Yeah.
good, the decorations
Yeah.
in there were very appropriate and
it was
whatnot.
beautiful.
So-
It was really pretty.
So, Lisa,
Yeah.
what's your final takeaway from the house? Your final
Well,
feelings?
I mean, I think for the most part, like, I didn't get the ick feeling. Like, I didn't get the, ew, there's something in her, blah. But at the same time, like, I mean, I shielded myself like crazy. I had all my crystals going. I had, like, you know, I was like, I had my prayers in, like, you know, I did the spiritual bathing. So, like, I wasn't, because I'm like, listen, we just had a full moon in Pisces. I'm like, I don't want you guys keeping me up all night long.
Yeah,
I
so
was
you
like,
went in very
never gonna-
protected and whatnot. And,
Yeah,
and
I
even so, I mean, there was just so much there was a lot of activity,
Yeah.
especially for our public.
They,
public
I mean, I got sadness, because I felt so bad. There was pressure on my chest, like, I had trouble breathing at times, and I try to, like, be like, okay, I have a touch of asthma, so, like, is this the asthma, or is it the, I don't know, like, but, like, I felt pretty clear. Like, I could definitely feel the presence, because I always say, like, I feel spirits, like, it's kind of like a rolling fog. Like, it's like sort of like I get the tingles on here, I get them up here, like I get them
Yeah,
around.
and you said you were getting them like all night, so I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the
I
house
mean-
just has a lot of energy, and anybody
Yeah, I don't,
who is
I don't,
in
I don't
the
get this. I get like this.
yeah. Anybody,
Yeah, and,
so like
like-
anybody that's you know, in the Pennsylvania area within driving distance. I mean, like, for me it was 2 hours, but it was well worth it.
Yeah, it was a
And
headache.
they're doing these tours all the way up through
Yeah.
I think the end of October, and then they also have private tours that you can also
Yeah,
book,
now
and
they
I definitely
have a
recommend doing
restaurant.
that. So it's the Brinton House, Brinton House, and
Brinton
it's,
Lodge.
Brinton Lodge, yeah.
Right.
It's on Schuylkill Valley Road.
Schuylkill. Yeah, either like I think it's like Schuylkill Road or
Yeah,
yeah, in Douglasville.
yeah, it's in
Douglasville,
in Douglasville,
And I'll
Pennsylvania.
tag them, and then yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I'll
'cause
post
we-
a link to that in show notes,
Yeah.
and if anyone listening ends up going, like, definitely let me know what your experiences are, because
Yeah, because they have a kitchen. It's really a shame because of COVID. I mean, it can't be helped, but they have a beautiful lodge there. Like, it's a beautiful. They have nice food. It's a full bar, so they're hoping to reopen, like, the, you know, that part of it, because, like, you know, it's really nice. Like, it's a really, really nice. I mean, it's a very reasonable tour. It's $22. you know, and then like you can come and have, you know, like, you know, drinks, you have something to eat, etc. And they're wonderful people. They're lovely, you know, and like the tour guide whose name I've forgotten, I apologize. You know, is like, he's very knowledgeable, like, and you know, it's a really, really great house. Like, it's just lovely, and we're very grateful. You
And
know,
it was
that
going to get knocked down and turned into a parking lot, so luckily it was saved.
yeah, but
so
the
this is
people
a really
next
special
door,
piece of property.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
David
they
is
said that
asking,
they
does this
were
mean
bought
people can
out,
spend the night there since they call it a lodge? And no, they don't advertise being able to stay the night there or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they said people have stayed. I don't know, like, when the last time was, whatever.
yeah, I think
I
you
don't
can
know.
book that. You can like make a reservation. You know, it's not open. It's not a public lodge, but I think you can book a private event and they would let you stay overnight, like do an overnight investigation or something along those lines. But it's not open like for regular public lodging.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a very lovely experience. And like I said, I mean, it's just cool for us too to see, like, you know, the old radio. It's just like some of this, it's like, wow, like this is just, it's just cool. Like, it's
they found some antiques that give you the vibe.
Yeah.
Of the,
I mean,
of the
I don't
place
even
for
like
sure.
antiques. Normally I'm like antiques, whatever, but I was like, I could see that, like, some of the things, like, some of the things were original. You know, I just got Wurlitzer. Oh, they said, because they said, I was asking them all night, what do they call the radio? I kept calling it a ham radio, and they were like, no, it's a Wurlitzer. Like, that's what I just got.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up, but thank you, Chris and Lisa, so much for coming back on.
Awesome, absolutely, anytime.
And it was great meeting you guys in person. Finally.
Yeah, you
too. Say what, Chris?
Made the trip all worthwhile.
Yeah, it was perfect, and it's great that we live close enough that we can, you know.
Oh yeah,
do
yeah, and
like
especially because I made Chris watch the Amityville Horror, like, when we got back to my place, because I was just like, I'm like, like, he was trying to talk me into what, like Jason or no,
Friday the 13th.
No, Freddy Krueger.
And you settled on Amityville. I was like, you know what? I've never seen it. Put it on.
Oh yeah. I made him watch it, and I was like, now see, what if the house were like that? He's like, oh no.
Here's an idea: the two of you should go to Amityville.
Oh no, that freaks me out. No demons, like no. Just ghosts.
Opportunity, take it.
Yeah.
No, but it was a real pleasure to meet you. Also, like, we appreciate, we love you. Like, we're big fans.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate the newfound friendships here and everything. So definitely look forward to all that growing. And Chris, how is your YouTube channel going?
Still in pre-production. In fact, because I got sick, I'm set back.
But you got your fancy new chair.
Oh, he got his chair. Oh yeah, that and his like 12 pairs of Converse sneakers. Like, every day he's like, I got a new pair. I'm like, dude, like, what is with the sneakers? Like, I don't know, like, what, but it's all good.
And the purple was up for Ann last night for the tour.
Oh yeah, he especially wore his purple sneakers, and
well, purple is my color, so that was much appreciated.
Which of course is, the color of that,
I need to get one more pair, and that's orange. In fact, I even got a pair that looked like stained mustard.
Why? Just because it was available?
Yeah, I'm like, why? Yeah,
a future cosplay / Halloween costume from Batman called the Condiment King.
Really? That's hilarious. Okay. So that makes sense. I got you. Okay. I never knew they came in so many colors. Like, that's...
I didn't
either. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to get all the colors of the rainbow.
That's awesome. You need to get a sponsorship now for your YouTube channel. Be like, whoa.
Oh, see? That'll keep you in Converse forever.
Yeah.
Chucks, Skittles, Doritos, Pepsi. Sign me up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And your game console behind you, Chris, I just noticed. Is that the one you said you weren't too impressed with?
What do you mean? You talk about my Ninja Turtles arcade.
The one behind you.
Yeah, the arcade game. Yeah.
That's the one I wanted for 31 years.
I know, but which one were we talking about? You said you finally got it, and you were kind of critiquing it.
Critiquing it. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. Just go ahead. Tell me what you think of it.
I'm trying to remember what system you're talking about.
I don't know. It was like, you said, did you have to return it eventually? Did you have to get something and return it?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, she's talking about the Retron 5, and I did send it back and got my money back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, what was that? The what was it called?
Retron 5.
Retron 5?
Yeah.
And now,
Yes.
so what? So, but this Ninja Turtles game, though, that is like definitely everything it's meant to be.
Yes.
Yes. Just a
No,
yes.
but when I was telling you, Ann, and you said, yeah, duh, obviously, hello, that we live in an age where I could play the original systems on a high-def TV. And I told you that's all I ever wanted to do. Now I'm able to do so with
Yeah.
current technology. And you're like, yeah, of course, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah, like at home here, like we use a Raspberry Pi for all that, so we still use the software that we run. It's called RetroPie. Yeah, and it has all those old arcade games on it. Is that what you got? Yeah.
That's Raspberry Pi.
Is that what? Is that? Would you say is that Blueberry?
It's my Raspberry Pi.
It's your Raspberry Pi. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. Yep. So, welcome to the modern age of video gaming.
Last time I played anything major was like Wii. I don't even remember. Xbox maybe.
Nintendo Switch.
I love my Switch. I still play Animal Crossing.
That is like that's yeah. See.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Castlevania to celebrate Halloween, probably starting tonight.
Are you watching that series? Are you watching?
I love that series so much.
It sounds like they're reading because I'm not used to watching that style in English, but it was originally dubbed in English, so it's not it's not being poorly dubbed. That is just that voice acting. But to me, it sounds like they're reading. So unless I'm like staring at the TV and watching, right? I'm just like, what is that? Like I can't stand having it on in the background because the voices sound so strange to me. You know, like I'm expecting it to be in like Japanese. Like I'm used to that style.
Oh God.
I can relate. It does look like it's in Japanese style, but dubbed in English.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is so strange. I'm used to there being subtitles on in my house.
Oh, not me. I
like subtitles. I put the closed caption in all the time, like just to kind of like, because half the time I'm like, what did they just say? And I can read it. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was like worried I was going deaf. Like it's like, yeah.
But Chris, you say you always just watch it dubbed anyway?
It's always dubbed in English, subtitles too. And I'm going to rewatch the series definitely to celebrate Halloween. In fact, I'm going to start tonight. It's going to start early.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, the next 3 months. Oh yeah, September. Yeah.
Say that again, Chris. I couldn't hear you.
I'm going to buy a bunch of Halloween candy and junk food starting tomorrow. And in fact, I got some right here.
Skittles. Oh my God. Yeah.
The rainbow.
Dude, you got to start out with like. Yes, get the wax lips.
Oh, we used to love those when we were kids.
Get the sugar daddies.
Oh yeah, and the little like wax bottles, like you would like that. Remember those? Yeah.
Yep.
Some of them taste like root beer. I remember those.
The gummies that do. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's awesome talking to you as always, and thanks so much for chiming in with.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were happy. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So
yeah, we will definitely have to do that again soon.
Yeah, definitely. We'll find more places to go to, and
Yeah, we were gonna more than likely when they start opening up like the fairy cons again and like the Ren fairs and
they do that right here in Harford County where I am.
Yeah,
too, so
yeah. I know Hunt Valley. I've been down a few times, and of course Monster Mania and like all that stuff.
Oh God, I miss Monster Mania. They went out of business. What did you say, Chris?
It got pushed to March. I found out from a friend of mine.
Oh,
okay. That's okay. Let's go in March. Let's go in March.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Let's give a big to COVID. It's like, yeah.
Big thumbs down.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
Now what are you gonna do?
We'll work it out, guys.
Yeah, awesome.
So in the meantime, take care. And I'll definitely be talking to y'all soon. So.
Good night, ladies.
Great.
Good night.
Night, guys. Love you.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
All right, so that was Chris and Lisa. Very obviously, as you guys know. If I didn't even need to really tell you that, huh? So I know extra long episode tonight, about 2 hours. I'm gonna do a little bit of post show for you on Facebook if anyone is still around and listening. I think our attention span probably dropped off somewhere in the first like 40 minutes. But anyway, if you're still there, I'll be on Facebook, so you can find me there. Facebook.com/ParaAnnHaunts. Or you can go to Facebook.com/Coffee with the Dead or Spirits Wake. I will be doing a live post-show chat from the Coffee with the Dead page tonight, and I am doing a special giveaway. If you purchase 3 of I am selling these fancy nail strips, dry polish nail strips. So if you do buy 3 get 1 deal through me, it will be good for 1 free tarot card reading. Now, I always offer them for free usually, but I usually just do the 1 question, 1 card pool deal. So I will give you a 3 card pool if you happen to support my little side hustle with the dry polish nails. I'm doing Color Street nails for those of you who may have heard of them. And also go to the Teespring store and check that out. You can see all the new mask designs that Chris was talking about, and all of the new t-shirt designs, and all the wonderful things. So pop on over to the Teespring store. It's linked to it in the show notes, and give me your feedback. Let me know what you want to see next on the show, and let me know if you want to be on the show, because I'm always booking interviews. And until next time, guys, remember, the veil is thin.